What is up? This here, LA in a minute, and I'm here in Little Tokyo in front of 340 East 1st Street because that was the location of the first Japanese business ever in Los Angeles. In 1884, 1885, depending on the source, this was Restaurant Kume, and that kicked off all of the amazing and dynamic history that is Little Tokyo. I want to tell you a little bit about it, so let's get into it. By 1905, the area had acquired the name Little Tokyo. There were 3,500 Japanese people out of 10,000 total in Los Angeles at the time, and there were also large pockets of Jewish and Russian people in this area. So with a home base established around San Pedro and First, and the railroad starting to expand with Henry Huntington, most of the laborers back then were Japanese, and as the railroads would continue to move east, they had a hub here in Los Angeles in what would become Little Tokyo. But the major catalyst was the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, which was a hub of Japanese people, and as that economy went south, they immigrated south. Through the 1910s and early 1920s, the area was a magnet for immigrating Japanese people. The area was lively with a thriving economy and culture until the terrible and racist Exclusion Act of 1924 halted any further migration. That said, the area and its people were invaluable to America's vegetable trade due to the number of successful Japanese American farms in Southern California. By 1941, there were approximately 30,000 Japanese Americans living in Little Tokyo. However, in 1942, the area's Japanese people were rounded up, evacuated, and put into inland concentration camps. It was a terrible scene as many people had to flee, being forced to leave their homes. Around the same time, a large number of African-American immigrants from the South moved to the area to find work in the area's labor-starved defense industry. The second Great Migration almost tripled Little Tokyo's population, with some 80,000 new arrivals taking up residence there. Prohibited from buying and renting in other parts of the city due to restrictive covenants, the area became known as Bronzeville and was severely overcrowded. After the war, there was a lack of housing in Little Tokyo, and many Japanese Americans returning from the camps moved into neighborhoods surrounding the area into apartments and boarding houses. In the late 1970s, many Japanese companies set up U.S. headquarters in Los Angeles, and a major redevelopment movement occurred. Several new shopping plazas and hotels opened, along with branches of major Japanese banks. While construction dramatically changed the appearance of Little Tokyo, its character is shaped and maintained by the 15 structures making up the Little Tokyo Historic District. Perhaps most important is the Nishi Hongwanji Buddhist Temple, which now houses the Japanese American National Museum. Today, Little Tokyo is still a cultural focal point for Los Angeles' Japanese American population. And this original restaurant that kicked off all of Little Tokyo, well, according to the plaque, 1884, Hamanosuke Sugita founded it, or in 1885, it was Charles Kume. I'm going to side with the plaque, but either way, that's a little bit about Little Tokyo. All right, LA, it's been a minute.